Yes, in the previous class of electrochemistry, I taught you that variation of conductivity and molar conductivity with concentration. And that day you learnt that in conclusion that conductivity of an electrolyte decreases with dilution, but molar conductivity of an electrolyte increases upon dilution. So, here is a matter that will molar conductivity will increase upon dilution without any limit or there is limit. Today this thing can be understood with the help of a topic that is graphic representation for the variation of molar conductivity for strong electrolytes, that is KCl and HCl, and weak electrolytes, that is acetic acid with concentration. So, in case of a strong electrolyte, molar conductivity increases slowly with dilution, and there is a tendency for molar conductivity to approach a certain limiting value when the concentration approaches 0, that is, when the dilution is infinite, the molar conductivity at infinite dilution when concentration approaches 0 is called molar conductivity at infinite dilution, and it is denoted by this much lambda naught m or lambda infinite m. Thus, lambda m will be equal to lambda naught m when concentration approaches 0 at infinite dilution. So, this is the graph which clears about that how does molar conductivity of an electrolyte vary with concentration. So, this is a graph between molar conductivity and concentration for both strong electrolytes. The upon dilution, because you can see here that concentration decreases in this side and increases towards the right side. So, at 0 concentration or when the dilution is infinite, the molar conductivity of these two strong electrolytes can be obtained by extrapolating these two graphs here. That is, for example, that is for KCl it is 149 and that is for HCl it is 150. But in this case, in the case of weak electrolyte, it is impossible to get the molar conductivity at infinite dilution. So, this is clear from this graph. This is the graph of acetic acid, and here see it, the graph becomes almost parallel to the axis of the molar conductivity. So, it is impossible to get the molar conductivity in this case, in the case of weak electrolyte. Let us write here, this is the graph of acetic acid. We should write here acetic acid CH3 COOH. So this is the graph. Now, for a strong electrolytes, the mathematical relationship between lambda m and lambda naught m is given by D.Y. Huckel on Sagar, who gave an equation which is given below. Lambda m equal to lambda naught m minus a multiplied c raised to the power half. That is square root of concentration. This equation correlates the molar conductance at any concentration and at infinite dilution. Now, here lambda naught m equal to molar conductance at infinite dilution, that is limiting molar conductivity. Lambda m molar conductance at concentration C or at any concentration. A constant which depends upon the viscosity and dielectric constant of the solvent, and for a particular solvent and temperature, A depends on the type of electrolyte, that is charges of cations and anions produced by dissociation. C is molar concentration of electrolyte. It can be seen that if we plot lambda m against a square root of the concentration, we obtain a straight line with intercept equal to lambda naught m and slope equal to minus a. Hence, as C approaches 0, lambda m approaches lambda naught m. Thus, for strong electrolytes, the value of lambda naught m is determined from the graph by extrapolating it to 0 concentration. In the case of weak electrolytes such as acetic acid, there is no possibility to attain limiting value because the graph becomes almost parallel to the y-axis when concentration approaches 0. So once again you can see the graph. This becomes parallel to y-axis. This is y-axis and this is the graph of acetic acid. It becomes parallel. If you will increase the dilution, go on increasing the dilution till infinite dilution, the graph will not touch this y-axis. So it becomes parallel. You can't obtain the limiting molar conductivity of the acetic acid in this case. So in the case of electrolytes such as acetic acid, here there is no possibility to attain limiting value because the graph becomes almost parallel to the y-axis when concentration approaches 0. Now, Thus, for weak electrolyte, the variation of molar conductivity with concentration is very wrong here, very is a very, yes, that is very right, very large, and so much so that we cannot obtain molar conductance at infinite dilution by extrapolation of the lambda m versus square root of c plots, that is extrapolating the graph to the zero concentration. Hence, it may be noted that the lambda naught m, that is limiting molar conductivity value for weak electrolytes, can be obtained by an indirect method based on Kohlraasch's law. I mean to say here that the formula for to get the molar conductivity already I taught you. This is the formula to get the molar conductivity of the electrolyte with the help of this formula. But here is the case of limiting molar conductivity, means is there any limit of the molar conductivity? Because you know that I taught you that molar conductance increases upon dilutions. So there is a limit. Is there any limit regarding the increase of the molar conductance? Yes, in case of a strong electrolyte, it is you can obtain by increasing the dilution. But in case of weak electrolyte, the limiting molar conductivity you can't get, because in the graph you have seen that the graph, when we extrapolate the graph of acetic acid, it doesn't touch to the y-axis. That's why. So, hence it may be noted that the limiting molar conductivity value for weak electrolyte can be obtained by an indirect method based on Kohlraasch's law. So, what is Kohlraasch's law? See here. This law states that at infinite dilution, when the dissociation is complete, each ion makes a definite contribution towards the molar conductivity of the electrolyte, irrespective of the nature of the other ions with which it is associated. Means when you dissolve any weak electrolyte in solution, you will get the ions of the cation and the ions of the anion. So each ion has individual role of in respect of conductivity, and Kohlraasch says that the limiting molar conductivity in case will be the sum of the individual molar conductivity of each ion. This means that the molar conductivity at infinite, this means that the molar conductivity at infinite dilution for a given salt can be expressed as the sum of the contributions from its individual ions. If here, so from this example you will become more clear, if lambda naught plus and lambda naught minus, so this sign represent the molar conductance of individual ions, minus represent the limiting molar conductivities of cation and anion respectively, then the limiting molar conductivity of electrolyte at infinite dilution is given by this sign, this formula. Limiting molar conductivity of the electrolyte will be equal to the nu plus, nu indicates the number of cation, and the limiting molar conductivity of cation, nu minus means anion, number of anion, and the limiting molar conductivity of anion. Right here 0. I forgot to put here sign of not. Yes, where nu plus and nu minus are the number of cations and anions per formula unit of electrolyte. For example, nu plus and nu minus for HCl is 1, but nu plus for MgCl2 is 2 is 1 and nu minus is 2 here. Hence, for NaCl, limiting molar conductivity of NaCl will be equal to this. For KNO3, limiting molar conductivity Kn will be equal to this much, and for aluminum sulfate, the limiting molar conductivity of aluminum sulfate will be equal to 2 multiplied limiting molar conductivity of aluminum ions and plus the 3 multiplied limiting molar conductivity of sulfate ions. Now, now let us start to study the application of Kohlraasch law. So, what is this is another topic of Kohlraasch law. Now, so what is the use of Kohlraasch law? So, this will be this thing you can learn under this heading, the use of application of Kohlraasch law. First, calculation of molar conductance at infinite dilution for weak electrolytes. Just I taught you this thing. Let us take an example here. Let us calculate the limiting molar conductivity for acetic acid according to Kohlraasch law. You can write the limiting molar conductivity of acetic acid will be equal to this according to Kohlraasch law. This is equation 1. Now, according to the requirement of this equation, molar conductivity for some strong electrolytes at infinite dilution are given below. See here. This is the limiting molar conductivity of strong electrolytes. This is the data given. This is for NaCl, limiting molar conductivity of NaCl. This is HCl. This is for sodium acetate. Now, what happens? Now, adding and subtracting the limiting molar conductivity of Na plus and Cl minus to the above equation number 1 on the right hand side and rearranging it, we get such type of equation. Means the limiting molar conductivity of acetic acid will be equal to the limiting molar conductivity of acetate ion plus hydrogen ion plus sodium ion minus sodium ion plus chloride ion minus chloride ion. We can write this equation. We can write this equation in this way. This equation I have added in this equation the molar conductivity of Na plus, and then it was subtracted again the molar conductivity of Cl minus ion, and it was again subtracted. So, when you will cut these two things, automatically you will get the same thing. So, we can add and subtract these things. Now, when we will rearrange the, suppose the limiting molar conductivity of acetate with this, you will get the in this way, and when you will arrange the H plus and Cl minus you can in this way get in this way, and when we will arrange this thing we will see here Cl minus and Na plus, then you will get this thing, and this will become this, and this thing come in the form of this, and this thing will come in the form of this, and in this way you can get the molar conductivity of the acid, limiting molar conductivity of the acetic acid by calculating these things, means by adding the limiting molar conductivity of acetic acid, sorry here sodium acetate, it will be sodium acetate here, right here sodium acetate, it has become sodium acetate, yes. Yes, so this is the molar conductivity you can get. This is it has become the limiting molar conductivity of sodium acetate, it has become limiting molar conductivity of HCl, it has become limiting molar conductivity of NaCl. Similarly, we can get the limiting molar conductivity of ammonium hydroxide in this way. So this is for ammonium hydroxide. Now calculation of another application, this is for another application, calculation of degree of dissociation of weak electrolytes. Molar conductance of a weak electrolyte depends upon its degree of dissociation. Higher the degree of dissociation, larger is the molar conductance. With increase in dilution, the conductance increases, and at infinite dilution, the degree of dissociation becomes 1, because electrolyte is completely dissociated. Hence, molar conductivity will be equal to limiting molar conductivity at C tends to 0. Thus, if lambda Cm will be if lambda Cm is the molar conductance of solution at any concentration, lambda naught m molar conductance at infinite dilution, then the degree of dissociation of at any concentration, that is alpha, will be equal to this much. Thus, measuring the molar conductance at any concentration, we can calculate alpha if lambda naught m is known with the help of this equation. See here. Now, the next thing is that the third application is here, calculation of dissociation constant of weak electrolytes. In the chapter Chemical Equilibria of class 11, we have learned that the dissociation constant K will be equal to this much, where C is concentration, alpha degree of dissociation. Thus, Substituting the value of alpha by calculations from molar conductance K can be calculated from above equation, that is K will be equal to this much. It becomes in the form of this much. Now how does this expression come? Let us repeat that thing for your convenience. Establishment of K, this much, that how this equation has come. So recall your knowledge here. Let us consider the dissociation equation of acetic acid as follows. This is the dissociation equation of acetic acid. Here initially its concentration is C, but they are 0. At equilibrium its concentration becomes C minus C alpha, where alpha is the degree of dissociation, and it will become C alpha. C alpha implies that when you will take common C, you will get C common 1 minus alpha, C alpha and C alpha. So equilibrium constant will become what? C alpha means product of the concentration of these products by the concentration, molar concentration of the reactants, and you will get such type of equation. So this is about that how does this equation come, where from this equation has been written here. So this is for your concept. I repeated this thing. Now the numericals on Kohlraasch law. So see here the first numerical, the molar conductivities at infinite dilution for solution for sodium acetate, hydrochloric acid and sodium chloride are this much, means molar conductance of these electrolyte has been given here respectively, and calculate the molar conductivity of acetic acid, weak acid at infinite dilution. So with the help of the Kohlraasch law formula, the limiting molar conductivity of acetic acid will be this much. It has become this, and again you will add and subtract the limiting molar conductivity of sodium ion, chloride ion, you will get this equation. Now when you will put the data, given data, you will get the limiting molar conductivity of acetic acid here in this way. So see here, this is your numerical, and this is another numerical which we can see that in this numerical the molar concentration at any molar concentration of the electrolyte is given at any concentration. The molar conductivity at any concentration is given, and you will get the limiting molar conductivity. Limiting molar conductivity is also given, the concentration is given, and the molar conductivity at any concentration is also given. With the help of the degree of dissociation, formula of the degree of dissociation, you can get the degree of dissociation in this way. So this is the another numerical. There are two types of, because in this numerical the degree of dissociation is to be calculated at two concentrations, that is 0.1 m and 0.00 m. It is given in numerical. When you will see the numerical in your text material, which I am going to send you through PDF in your WhatsApp, you will understand it, you will feel no problem. Next day I will teach you about the criteria for the product formation at the electrodes. That is also a very important topic, and that is the last topic of the electrochemistry. And after that, the one more topic is here in electrochemistry. They are related to your battery. means there will be two primary cells and secondary cells. That's so today.